Support for Talkin Schmit is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, kids. It's the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. We're going to give you 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code
shout out
at manscaped.com. Just type in the code shout out and the rest is smooth sailing. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I'll tell you this, I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and details on the 4.0 are next level. The 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. That's right, kids. Advanced skin-safe technology. Now you can feel confident shaving those family jewels. Did I mention wireless charging? Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code shout out at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code shout out. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Shout out.
Hey, it's Corey.
This is Corey.
Blue plate.
Corey.
Come see us. Corey. We got a garden and we got smiles on our faces. Come let us make you happy.
Ow! Okay, let's get some breaths going. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Corey Duffel, and we're talking Schmit. Ow!
It's cool, like tonight is the night.
Here we go again.
Just give it the old college try, right?
Big dog's in.
Schmitty.
96 times, Schmitty.
Thanks, Schmitty.
We on? Schmitty?
Talkin Schmit.
That's called go to the hospital, bitch. I'd be shitting my pants.
Your Rolodex is fucking deep.
It's about the one.
Who is this guy thinks he's tough shit?
What's up? We're tastemakers.
Come on, Schmitty, what the fuck?
Let's hear it for Greg Smith. Yeah!
All right, everybody. Are you ready? East Bay, you in the house? West Bay? Marin, where you at? Pennsylvania, you're here? Damn, look at that. Alaska, we're hitting all kinds of areas. Today, kids, this is going to be a fun one. I've known this kid since he was a kid, and he's always a kid. He's still a kid. He was a kid then. He's a kid now. I ain't kidding. This is motherfucking Corey Duffel, owner of Adored Skateboards.
Adored skateboarding, not skateboards.
Adored Skateboarding.
It's more than just skateboards. Skateboarding, baby.
Okay, well, we'll get into that, but I want to talk about some early moments, because I was there the first time that you got a photo from Bruce Rodella, I think it was, bomb dropping off of a roof or something, and it was your first photo on the mag, I'm pretty sure, right?
Absolutely.
What were you, like 12?
13, just turned 13.
13 years old. Big skateboards.
I could remember in that same issue, or the issue after, like in the junk drawer, there was a caption. That was when Phil was writing, working on the junk drawer or whatever. And it said, "Did Wonder Kid Corey Duffel actually try to hide the age that he just turned 13? Because I remember we shot the photo, maybe I was 12, but by the time it came out, I was 13. But
damn.
98.
So let me get this straight. Your mom had you at home and Brian Anderson was there to help, assist? And Stable went to get pizza or something? What's this story?
I think the story was more when I was 11 through 13. I knocked on their door every day trying to assist them to eat pizza.
Yeah,
they were my neighbors.
And were they established already? Like they were Brian Anderson and Brad Staba of the skateboard world at that time?
Oh yeah, I mean Brian had already had Welcome to Hell, so Front Blunt had already come out.
Oh.
Brad had Fronts I Flipped the Gons Gap, so Staba was Staba, you know.
Oh, so you're just a kid going like, these are the dudes.
Yeah, like, hey, can I go skate with you guys? Like, can I hang out? Because, you know, I can remember like looking out the classroom one time and seeing Beagle, Heath, Staba, and Brian all skating a spot across the street from school, and being like, looking out the back of the classroom and like, that's why I want to be with those guys. And Brad and Brian both lived in an apartment right behind my parents' place. So there's like a ditch that separates the apartments from the cul-de-sac I lived on. So I would just hop over the fence and go knock on the door every day. Or on my way back from school, you know, it's 2:00, just knock on the door like, hey, you guys skating today? What's up? It's always Brad, you know, Dickies, no shirt on. Fuck, what do you want? And then Brian always, you know, being so cool, like, hey man, here's some stickers, or yeah, I'll hit you up. Let's go out sometime. And they would entertain that idea and be nice to me. And now looking back, I'm like, holy shit. I must be testing them, you know?
So were you, did you go out with them at all? Like, would they instruct you? Did they help you like learn how to do any skate maneuvers, or were they too cool for you at that time?
I wouldn't say too cool at all, because they definitely brought me out many a times. Where like I was introduced to a lot of like night skating with them. Not like the generator style, but just going out, pushing around, you know, for like 8:00 till like midnight, just on, you know, Friday and Saturday nights, just going out, rolling throughout the city and skating curb cuts and just finding spots. So I would never say they were too cool for me. You know, Brad is Brad. If you know him, if I call him a jackass, you know, it's not like, oh, this guy's mean. It's just that's his nature. You know, he's a sarcastic prick, and he was back then, as he still is. But if he even speaks to you, it's because he actually cares, I feel, and he actually likes you. Mm-hmm. Where Brian is much more the hugging, affectionate type. Hey man, what's up, Greg? So good to see you. You know, Brad's gonna see you. Nice hat, you fucking loser. You know, whatever.
They're pretty yin and yang. I always tripped on how did Brian put up with Brad for all those years, but like they're a good balance.
Absolutely. And since we both know both of them so well, that's what I mean. Like, if somebody else, you need to hear it and be like, oh, Brad's a dick. Or if somebody listened to this is like, how's this guy saying Brad's nice? That guy's clearly an asshole. You're like, you actually don't know Brad. He is a very loving, affectionate guy, especially when you see him as like daddy stable, you know, taking care of his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole different Brad than maybe the skateboard world knows him.
One of my favorite Staba quotes is he's like, man, people always say I'm a dick and like an asshole or this and that. And he's like, but would I be friends with this many cool people if I wasn't cool?
Okay, that's the prime example. I mean, you could take it a different way. And I'm taking it going, yeah, that fucking dick. Even more of an asshole than I thought, but I love him for it, you know?
I love Brad, and I gotta give props to Raymond's because the pizza spot is on point.
Yeah.
The garlic knots, I dream of them. I'm like, damn, those are so good.
And it's cool. Rambo's playing in the background. You go in there. It's good art. It's Brad owning it.
And he's still Brad, which really floored me. He's similar to Jake in the fact that he doesn't change his persona for the different environments. He's just Brad in every scenario. So you always get the same dude, which is like, wait, you're selling pizza and you're still Stava? Damn.
I love that about him. And that's the same Brad I met when I was 11 years old. You know, like seeing him and him selling product to me and my other friends on the street, you know, like spray painting boards to make them look like they were in better condition than they were.
Right.
Just, like I said, Staba is Staba. There's no other way to describing it.
So with those two guys in your neighborhood, how do you get picked up by Fink?
So it's a weird one. I mean, I was trying to get on Tomato at the time for sure, because I was clearly...
Brian's at Toy and Stava's at Foundation, or? Yeah,
and then exactly. And then Beagle, I had met a couple times. This Josh Beagle, you know, for the listeners that don't know the 90s. Mm-hmm. I had met Beagle, and he told me, you know, to film some stuff, and that he would flow me stuff through Brad's packages, which I never got. And Beagle was like, I promise you, I sent extra boards, you know, in Brad's boxes for you. So who knows if I just
Sold.
probably sold them to me even. But so I mean, that was like the dream to get some Camisa stuff. But then also the dream was to ride for a NorCal company, Bay Area, and then so I met Greg Carroll at a skate park called the Dock, the Antioch skate park.
Oh,
He was there with Wade and Phil and whoever else, and he saw me skating. He asked if I had a videotape. So, and I happened to have a tape at that time. I'd be like skating around with my little backpack on, my little JanSport, and I had a tape in there, probably a skate tool, and whatever else, the bus ticket, BART ticket or something, or a windbreaker. I don't know why skaters in the Bay Area always had like a backpack and there's like nothing in it. It's like a windbreaker and like a bus pass. But
yeah.
I happen to have a video because I was told I should start carrying around a sponsor me video in case I ever met a team manager. So I met Greg and he saw that I had Ventures on and he was like, hey, I'd like to see some footage. And after that, it was 3 weeks later, I got a call back from him going, hey, we just watched your tape. Phil is down. I'm down. Like, can we send you some stuff? And next thing I know, a box got sent in the mail and a chain wallet, a belt, one of those cool belts, kind of like one of these, the web belts that hang.
Right.
The
Is that the photo that you posted on Instagram recently? Like, it's like you as a kid getting one of your first boxes, I think.
It's actually right over here because I just scanned it, but I see the photo right there. And what's so wild about this, check this out. So that box showed up from Think, whatever it was, like 24 Ingle Street, whatever, San Francisco. I'm like, what the hell? Think Skateboards box. And then right next to it was a box from Arsenal Skateboards that Mike Rafter had sent me.
Oh.
Yeah, so Mike saw me skating. We had become friends. He got me to go skate with him and Cardiel and Matt Rodriguez and like Eric Condell, all the Sackdale guys a couple of times. So I'm 12 at this time, and my grandparents lived in Sacramento, so we would go out there to visit. And Mike Rafter allowed my brother Steven and I to, go skate with them. And so we became buddies. And so then Mike, asked, for my address. And next thing I know, I'm getting a box from Arsenal. And the same morning that I ever got my first box, not just one, but 2 boxes showed up. So it was like
the same day.
See the smile. It was like I can still remember it,
yeah. Free
there's
shit.
no other feeling as a kid seeing the UPS man show up and then you see your name on this cardboard box. I still have the packing sheet cut out of cardboard because as we're talking about being hoarders, like I'm that much of a hoarder. Like I still have that because to me that is like that's the golden ticket from Willy Wonka. Like someone sent me skateboard. It's like holy shit.
Yeah, I still have the first paycheck stub that I got from a skating photo that I shot. Like whenever they sent me the check, I deposited, but I kept the back. Like $100, what? Like whatever.
So speaking of the $100 one, I kept my last paycheck from Tomato that says $100. So I have that one too. I had the very first one, which was in America when I was 15, and then I have the very last paycheck stub, which is Foundation or Tomato.
Right.
Same thing, $100.
Damn. What do you think of my backdrop here?
I think it looks nice.
Can you see anything? Any stickers?
I see Skateworks for sure.
Yeah, I got the.
I see Atlas. I see PLA. I see a bunch. So it's all skate shops on the right. It looks like.
Yeah, this is all skate shops mostly. And then this is just homies have sent me. I'm just trying to fill it up and then maybe I'll auction it off or something at the end.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, dude, what about this idea? Is this corny? I think it'd be awesome. What if we did a skate? Do you have a big skate sticker collection?
Yeah.
What if you and I do Instagram live for like a half hour or something and we go through our stickers and like, I got 5 of these. Okay, I'll trade you one for your double or something. I think people would trip to see like all the different shit.
That'd be fun. Yeah, so I still have a bunch. During COVID, I got rid of tons of stuff. People finally broke me down and got me to sell shit. Because I've never sold a shirt or anything, and finally during COVID, I sold all my pro model boards. I sold everything. 'Cause I sold one thing. And
wait, you sold your boards?
Everything.
No way.
Yeah.
Even your first board?
Sold it all. I kept one of some of them, but I had doubles of a lot.
Oh, okay. So you still have one personal.
Not one of all of them, but one of the ones I care about.
I'm kind of torn on that stuff because I'm like, am I going to make a quilt someday? Like, what am I doing with all these things? I don't know, but I don't want to get rid of them because if I figure it out, then it'll be too late. Like,
I know.
I don't know. My mom's an antique collector. I was born a baseball fan, so I collected baseball cards and comics.
Yeah.
So it's only natural I want to hold on to everything.
And that's how I am. I mean, I'm such a hoarder. You've been over.
I mean, your record collection is just insane. I don't know how you decide which record you're going to play.
I don't know. That's why I had to play my now. Gem Blossoms. Classic.
And the crazy thing is, like we've been talking about it this last year, especially with boards becoming so kind of hard to get. The theme has just been like, dude, when I was a little kid and I first started skating, a board was like $48 with grip tape. And in 2021, a board is still like $50 with grip tape or whatever. You're like, it's never, with inflation, the skateboards have always stayed the same. And it's really kind of bizarre.
Yeah, and do you think there's a conspiracy going on right now that the wood shops are saying it's so much harder to get boards and everything just to finally make prices go up for the supply and demand? Like, it's because they should be up. $50 is so cheap for.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are really heavy into this thing called conspiracy theories. So like I have heard a lot of theories about all that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised. They did come out with kind of like a skate shop announcement that was kind of like, we've always had boards the same price. We're going to rate. And then, but it is true though, that the COVID has made a lot of people skate that don't normally skate. You know, there's families going in and buying boards for their first times because they're like, there's no wheel available. I guess I'll get 4 wheels. It's like, fuck off.
Straight up. I mean, work at the skate shop, record store skate shop. I'll give them a plug in Up the Creek Records in Walnut Creek.
Shout out.
Yeah, I sell a lot of boards to, first timers and adults coming in as well too. A lot of moms even wanting boards, Johnny's younger sister wanting a board. And so it's totally cool. Like people want skateboards. And it's not just the crusty, you want a skateboard type guy, like you don't deserve a skateboard.
Those guys are not around as much anymore.
No, it's like people come in and they're like, hey, can you help me? Do you know anything about skateboards? And I'm like, I know a little bit about them. Why? They're like, oh, I'm trying to get my first board. Can you help a beginner? I'm like, and it's always like, I'll be like, which side of me do you want? Do you want the skateboarder that's been skateboarding for 26 years? Or do you want me not knowing much about skateboarding? And they're like, oh, so you actually skate? I'm like, skateboarding means more to me than the fucking rest of the whole world will ever mean to most people. I'm like, I fucking love skateboarding more than most people will ever understand. And then like, oh my gosh, so I got the right person? I'm like, it depends. I got my truck on backwards if you're not paying attention because I don't think you care about it so much. But if I see the smile on the kid's face or the mom's face, then I'm like, this is so cool. But when I see like the little kid going, Mom, this board sucks, I don't even care, then I'm like, man, I don't want to grip this board for this kid.
Yeah.
Like, you probably remember going to the skateboard shop or the bike shop or whatever and looking at those boards and wide-eyed and just excited and so stoked and like the smell of it, the feeling. I want to see that with the people buying it. And when I don't see it, I still have to do my job, but it's so hard because I love it so much. Like, oh man, I got to grip this board for this fucking little chump that doesn't even care.
Skate shops, I mean, that's why I have this wall. I respect them and I think they're super important. But man, the people, I worked in one for probably 4 or 5 years, so I know, but like, I talked to the guy at Lottie's, Mike, about it. And I was like, from my perspective, this is a little controversial maybe, but I'm like, in my day, we were dicks and you came into the skate shop and you got vibed. and you earned your acceptance. Like you didn't just walk in and get accepted right through the door for your first time ever. And when you looked at boards and you were a kook, you got told you were a kook. And this is how you became like not a kook, right? And in our era, a lot of shit happened that they like to talk about now that wasn't cool, but I lived it and I saw it firsthand. And what my thing is in 2021, I mean, I just can't even imagine working at a skate shop because you'd have all that feeling inside, but you'd have to be like, but I just happy to see you. Yeah, keep cooking it. Like, oh yeah, come back tomorrow. Like, it's like, no, that's not for me. I have to tell you, like, you're not allowed back in here for 2 weeks. And when you come back, you better bring me a pizza.
Yeah. It's just such different times, you know?
Yeah.
That's how, even like, because the skate shop I'm at, it's a record store too. And, you know, I'm like, oh, so you like this guy, huh? But I have this, like, I'm not going to ever judge him. I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper and be like, you should only listen, like, oh, you don't have this one? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I try to play, I'm a curmudgeon by nature. And, you know, I kind of goof off and I bust, you know, I like to take the piss out of people. And if someone can't take it, then it's like, oh, fuck. But when someone else gets it and they dish it right back at you, it's totally fun. Kind of like the Phelps style.
Well, that's why we love Joe Hammocky. I say it every time I can. I've never met somebody that can take it as well as Joe and just loves to just fucking let it bounce off of him and be a part of the joke. And it's so fun to hang out with those kind of guys as opposed to the guy that's, yeah, that's it.
Exactly. It'd be like if someone's watching this, you look at me and be like, what is with that hairdo? Or like, what do you like? And me being like, huh? Who's ever on that side of that keyboard, I'm coming for you, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't got time for anybody else's opinions. That's their opinion.
Yeah.
When you're working around people or you're in a, you know, not a public space, but like a retail shop like that, that is a record store or a skateboard shop, it should be fun. And there should be the gentle nature of the roots of skateboarding and the roots of music, which is kind of, you know, badass, but also totally fun. You know,
right.
A little bit of both. You know, I don't want it to ever be, I hate being bullied. I hate when you walk in and, you know, like, or go somewhere and it's like 10 skateboarders all, you know, they want to aid you. You're like, oh shit, they just threw expired milk cartons at me. Cool. That's not fun. But if someone's fucking around with you, like, hey, nice push, you know, you're like, oh man, I should push Mongo. Okay, because I grew up as a Mongo kid and, you know, I got made fun of. I got clowned hard. I mean, I'm not talking about just like, hey, dude, don't do that. It was like, you fucking mongoose monkey, you fucking loser, you know? But then it made me go, man, okay, these kids are dicks. I kind of want to hang out with them too because they clearly know something, maybe.
Yeah, but like, here's my thought on it, right? Like, where's the line that we draw? Because if he's feeling good and he's happy pushing Mongo, just let him push Mongo, right? Like that's today's message. Well, if he wants a wheel and he wants to balance it on his rollerblade while he's in a pink tutu, like if that's how he likes to feel and he's comfortable, who are we to say? And I'm just like, dude, how?
It's a weird one. I mean, not even weird. I'm all for anybody having fun and expressing themselves how they want. Sometimes to me, this could be taken however someone wants to take it, but professional skateboarding, I think, is different than just going out and skateboarding. I'm all for everybody enjoying the act of skateboarding because I sure as hell didn't invent it. I'm not in charge of skateboarding. I just happen to love it. But I think if you want to call yourself a professional at anything, you should actually, there are some kind of rules, arbitrary rules. I'm not talking about like, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. But there are like some, you know, subjective type rules that you should follow, like, or at least should want to, you know, pay attention to. Like, you shouldn't want to just put out, you know, complete bullshit footage, I guess, you know, and just go, hey, but that's how I feel. And I'm not against anybody having pro model boards or, you know, pro model shoes or anything like that. But when it's called professional or whatever, that's the one where I'm like, huh. Can anybody start up their own company, start up a community, and reinvent their own scene and make cool shit happen? absolutely. I'm all for that. But when it's only, like, see, this is where I get lost. I don't even, and I would never want to upset somebody else with it because my opinion is different than their opinion. But as somebody that's broken my body for skateboarding, for professional skateboarding, sometimes when I see somebody only wanting to do a slappy no slide, then it's like, that's cool. And there's never a time when a slappy no slide is not cool. So don't get me wrong there, because a fucking slappy no slide is always awesome. It's fun. It looks cool. It feels good. And that's why we do skateboard. But is that what goes in magazines? I don't know. I'm not in charge of, like I said, I'm not in charge of any of it. But I think it's not even a subjective rule for skateboarding, but I think it's just a personal thing. You should want to push yourself a certain way if you're going to have your name on the bottom of a skateboard, maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not in charge of it. I don't know.
Well, we already know skateboarding's a lifestyle.
Yes.
So what you're saying is in that vein, like it could be a pro thing, but it's a lifestyle, not necessarily just like this versus that in a skateboard so specific situation.
Yeah, along those lines, because I mean, same thing. Like, I never skated contests, and so maybe technically I'm not a pro skateboarder. I couldn't compete with the people who are actually, winning those things. And they might say, hey, that Duff man, dude, he fucking sucks at skating. But I could look at the world champion and be like, man, that person has bunk ass style. I don't like the way they do it. So once again, it's
from what it feels like to me, anything goes. And if you want to just be a goon, more power to you. If you want to try to be cool, you might be looked down upon nowadays for not being a goon. Like kooks, like Phelps said, even the kooks rip. It's like everyone is good.
To see skateboarding, it doesn't only have to be Guinness Book of World Records tricks right now. Like, end of the day, like I just mentioned, a slappy no slide is always cool. If I saw that in the magazine right now, though, that's why I was like,
Burn dog, 2-page spread.
But then I would actually probably be stoked. I'd be like, hey, that is so much cooler than that front feeble on that 50 stair rail. I'd be like, yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, let's mix it up, right? That's the thing about skateboarding is it is a fucking creative thing, and a 20 stair handrail and a 21 stair handrail don't look that much different. So let's have a lot of spice in there and mix it up, I think.
And it's hard. I mean, like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, all the times I was coming up, it was very depressing at times because like you're on tour and you see a spot that looks fun, and if you skate it, half the van makes fun of you for skating it. The team manager tells you that shit's weak, it's not good enough. And you're like, I'm not allowed to be a skateboarder anymore. It turned in from...
Only what is, like, it has to be good enough.
Yeah, and that really destroyed me as a human being. I'm sure it also hurt a lot of other skateboarders, or because all of a sudden then they see a guy like me that's skating something big, and they're like, I can no longer skate Pier 7. I got to jump on shit. And that also sucks if you feel like the magazine's not going to run a photo of you unless you're willing to kill yourself, or there's just all so many weird things about it. Because for years, when you're told something's not good enough, it just brings you down, 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 down. But then if you were just out skating, like how I see all the homies at Rockbridge, I'm like, they're having so much more fun than any pro skateboarder I know. I go, they might just work a part-time job and they get to come here and sesh with all their homies and they're all smiling. It's just like when you first start and you have two friends that skate and you're flicking boogers at each other and you're burping and you're having fun and you're mooning somebody out of the elevator, whatever. You're like, you're being a kid, being a skateboarder, you're just living up life. And then all of a sudden you get sponsored and it's like, you're too scared to like be who you want to be because the older guys are going to make fun of you or blacklist you. And then if you aren't doing things hard enough, then you get kicked off. It's like so many weird things. So in a way, I actually do love seeing all the freaks doing their things, and I like seeing the slappy no slide come to play. He's never listened to me for advice because I don't know. I'm all over the place. Because I'm a fucking weirdo that loves skateboarding, but I'm also a 20-year-old pro skateboarder too that loves to see people push it. But then you can also push it in ways where somebody like could tell me like, hey, Corey, your skating sucks now. It's not as good as it used to be. And I could be like, hey, but I actually never did any of these tricks before, so I'm actually progressing in a completely different way. So how does that suck?
You just influence somebody.
Yeah.
It's like music, back to holding like a record. Like, you don't want to hear one band do the same album for 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever.
Right.
Even if,
no, there's
like,
a lot of parallels.
Charlatan's record, it doesn't mean it's a bad record. At the end of the day, it's not always for you. It's what they're feeling, just as somebody, a skateboarding is whatever they feel like expressing. And so whose position is it to tell you that shit's not good enough? But then again, fuck all the kooks, right?
Whoa, slow it down.
Someone's got to tell you you're being a kook. I don't know. There's arbitrary rules with it, and that's what makes it hard, because there should be some things like, hey, you might want to redo that, but then there's also times it's like, hey, a little toe tread? Who fucking cares? It's a little too much of a stink bug? Whatever. If you want to do it that way, that's fine, because most people know it looks better that way. But if you want to go ahead and go, that's on you.
I made a comment about I forget what the trick was, but somebody had an Instagram post, and I was like, damn, stink bug. And then Mike Crum direct messaged me and was like, actually, that's one that's okay to not grab around the knee. And I was like, damn. Like, if Crum's saying that, it's got to be, because I got mad respect for him. I was like, damn.
What was it? Was it a nollie heel flip to fake you?
It might have been. He's like, that's the trick that's okay. You don't want to grab that one around your knee. I was like, damn.
Wow. Mike Crum, baby.
Came in hot.
Great style. So it's like,
Crum's one of the best to fucking, he's just, I love Crum. And yeah. All right. Besides your first board, what was the best moment of your life being on Think Skateboards? What was your like happiest day, or like most best achievement, or whatever?
So I wish this photo existed somewhere. I don't know who's got the photos, if Rob Collins is watching this, and if all the Think stuff from the
doubles with Wade.
Yeah, so I think it's when Wade and I got the doubles together. I think you were filming it maybe that day.
At the spot that Wade had the Dogtown video, Ollie, you guys went back there and did doubles, right?
Yes. And so to me, that was a special day to be skating with my favorite skater. Because Wade, my first board is a Wade Spire board. First sponsor is Think Skateboards. Wade's the local hero. And by this time, Wade wasn't really skating too much, even though he was like, 22 years old probably. But to go see him ollie this fucking big gap in his Wranglers, the belt buckle, the tucked in plaid shirt, like doing it over and over with him was so fucking cool.
Right.
So that was definitely, I think, a big highlight for me.
And when, excuse me, when Greg approached you and was like, I want to check out your tape and stuff, like the very first moment that he talked about Think, did you already know what Think was?
Oh, absolutely.
Like you knew who Phil and Wade were, and Jesse and Drehobel and all the dudes that were on the team?
Big fan of Think. I mean,
okay.
Oh, my dog is, Blixa, get up here. There's a dog. Hey, Blixa. Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bunch of Think boards already. I mean, my second or third board was a Drehobel.
That's fucking cancer. Fucking damn.
Drehobel koi fish looking graphic. I had this other one that's like 3 DJs all on it. I had the Milk Crate Kid board, or the Milk Box Kid board. I mean, I was a big Think fan.
That was early.
Yeah, like
Nick Lockman in there.
The first hat I ever had that was a skateboard hat was a green hat with a Think light bulb on it. My cousin Matt gave me that. That was like 1994 or whatever.
Right.
And then Robin Williams, Miss Doubtfire, he's dancing with like that hat on sideways. And I'm like, yeah, baby, I got that hat too. So Think was something cool to me. I don't know why I liked the name. I liked the team. I thought it was Wade, Phil, Dan, Matt Pels. Damage was I think the third video I ever got. So that's probably why I like Think so much. Where in the background, my first video was Hookup's Asian Goddess.
Yeah.
It was nonfiction, 20-shot sequence, and Damage. So if you weren't in one of those videos with the skateboarders, I probably didn't care about any other company. Those were like the 4 things that like were everything to
I'm
me.
guessing because I look at your background. Were you the kid that was putting up pictures on your wall?
A lot of pictures on my wall.
Who were some of the early, like who was like one of the first, like?
I remember I had the Fred Gall Switch 50 down Hubba. That photo was on the wall. Karma Tasha, Karma was on there. Alan Peterson for sure. Stava, Josh Beagle, Heath Kirchart, Ethan Fowler, and.
Did you skate Hubba and EMB?
I did. So
as a little kid.
Yeah, as a little kid, skated Hubba a bunch as a kid. I mean, that was like very exciting to go there. Like that was more late 90s, 96, 97.
Okay, right before they tore it out.
Yeah, so kickflipped Hubba on my 12th birthday. That was like a big milestone to do. Like, and like Drake Jones was there, Joey Bass was there, and just recently Brad Johnson actually posted on his Instagram.
Oh, they had the footage.
They happened to be there filming that day, and they actually filmed me do it. Same day Joey Bass did his last trick for the Planet Earth video. And, I was told, get his back. I'll give you $1 if you get his back, and I backed him up and kickflipped it first go. So that was, like, exciting. And
that's sick, dude.
Gave Hubba a few months after that, like, got all my tricks on it, like, all the old faithfuls, all the tricks I still do.
Yeah.
And then EMB was such a bust at that time, like 96, 97. We would go there and hit the 3-stair and all the way like the kickflip, the whatever they call it, like with the 7, even though the 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Skate that for a moment before getting kicked out. But Bruce actually shot me all in the Gons gap too.
Over the fence or not with the fence?
Before the fence was up.
Okay.
So that's like one of those things. I'm like, whoever's got the photos, I don't know if it's Thrasher or Low Card.
Bruce doesn't have it?
Nah, he's got none of it, he says.
Oh.
I've never seen any of those old Think photos.
Ooh.
And so that would be cool to see, I would love to get a photo of me at 13 all in the Gons.
Yeah. Wow. Damn, Bruce doesn't have the negative?
Has none of it. He said he would just turn it, give it all to...
Kind of how it was. Fuck.
Yeah. And so much stuff like that I've never seen footage. And people are like, how don't you have this? But whoever thought we would be still doing this, 20, 25 years later?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I trip on it.
And even back then, it wasn't thought about. Like, when I did something like that, it was just like, cool, I'm here. I all leave the Gons. Woo! Next spot. Oh, we're going to get a Hubba now? Get a K-grind? Sick. And it wasn't ever to even see the footage. It wasn't for the footage to begin with. It was just for the feeling, just to push yourself and do it. And I think so much of skateboarding, especially in the Bay Area, was like that in the 90s. Like, imagine how much shit you saw Phil do, or like something like Jaya, that I can only imagine the shit like guys like Jaya or Struben did around SF that was not documented. Toad, like all that shit,
Yeah. No, that's one of the things that like my wisdom has brought me that I would tell a kid. I didn't think it was cool when I was a kid, but organize from the beginning. If you organize everything and stay organized through your life, like it's so epic. I've learned it so late in my life that it's taken me a long time to catch up. But now that you can just be like, hey, and I go, yep, it's right here. Like, that's like a really powerful thing.
I bet. Yeah, like me, like I was scouring everywhere the other day for some photos. Jamie Thomas was asking for a couple of photos of me, ones that went back when I was wearing Zero a lot, like 97, 96.
Yep.
And, like, do you have any of those photos still? And I don't know if my buddy Joey Cinco's got them, because I let him see a bunch of shit a while back. But a bunch of stuff's gone missing, stuff that I always knew was in a drawer for the last 20 years. And also I'm like, where the fuck is this?
Right.
And so, yeah, organization. I don't have it, but I wish I did.
Well, you kind of do. Look at are your records in alphabetical order?
Yeah, they all go A through Z. And then if it's all...
Are they all together or in genres?
All together except... jazz and drum and bass records are all on the bottom.
Okay. I got mine in hip hop, jazz, and then everything else.
Smart.
Yeah.
And that's how, I mean, there's actually a little.
Oh,
hip-hop,
actually, I got punk rock too. Like, cause I have like what I consider punk rock versus like modern punk rock. Like, those are my best records. Like, it's like they're worth the most too, which is crazy to me. I'm like, really? Like, it's like Loose Nut was worth like, I don't know, whatever. You're just like, damn, okay.
Yeah. That's how to me, because I love singles. And same thing, like they're all alphabetized, like.
Holy shit. All those drawers are singles?
Yeah. I mean, that's an expensive one now, middle class. But
dude.
Mine aren't in the order they should be, but they're just all, like, it's just like if you pull something out, it's just alphabetized.
Okay, so that's pretty much the M's.
Yeah, so we're in exactly.
Okay.
I'm pretty good somehow. I don't know how I know what I have, but I'm aware of all the different titles I have, and I think there's about 6,000 singles, let alone. And I still, like, if I go to a record store, I'm like, yep, got it. Nope, don't got it. Yep, I have that pressing, whatever.
Do you consider yourself more of a collector? Because, like, in my mind, there's two different things. Like, it's kind of like the baseball card mentality where you just want to have them as trophies, like, I got them. Mm-hmm. And then there's ones that you collect that you're like, I got these because I want to listen to them. But then I feel like there's some that are so valuable that you don't even want to listen to them because you don't want to mess them up.
That's okay. So, with option 1 or 2, I would say the guy, I don't know, it would be whichever option is. I buy them because I want to listen to them and I want to play them. I like owning them, and I bring them out to DJ. And like,
so you don't have one record that you won't play?
There are stuff like that, but like for instance, like somebody would tell me, oh, you probably shouldn't, like play a record like that out. That's like a $200, $300 record. And I'm like, well, why the fuck would I buy it then?
Yeah.
Like, I bought it because I want to share that music with other people when I'm DJing. It's cool. And like, it's not like I'm playing it 10,000 times, so it's not like the grooves are going to wear out.
Right.
And you could be total things too, like if a picture sleeve gets a little damaged.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I prefer to have like a pristine copy of something, but what's great about records? Fucking they're fun. You listen to them. That's what's fun about them. I don't buy them just to put them on.
Do you care about which printing they are? Like, this is the English version, this is the U.S. version, like all these different.
Yeah, I'm a snob.
Yeah.
If it's a
has
European
to be a first printing or what?
So if it is a band from the UK, I want it to say "Made in the UK" on it because it's going to be a first pressing most likely. So
right.
It's coming from the pressing plates are going to be better than the American ones, most likely. And also, that's just me being, a bit obsessed with, some UK culture and being like, I like the stuff they put out. I want the real deal.
I know. I'm in the same book. It's like, I love the Beatles records that have the actual apple on the label.
Of course.
Like there's so many different versions of like the White Album, but I need that one that has the apple on the label. I'm like, I got it.
It matters. It's just like, to me, I like skateboards made in Mexico or the USA. To me, I like them in North America.
Right.
I want my trucks made in actual America.
Right.
Like the little things that I don't know why it matters, and to somebody else it doesn't.
Right.
But to me, those little things, I enjoy it. I think it's fun. Just like I like knowing that my T-shirts are, American made and they're, screened by hand by one of my friends. It's not just a giant company doing it. It's somebody I actually know who I have a connection with.
Yep.
Like Garrett, my buddy Gary, who screened them, he's the guy that actually filmed a lot of my old sponsor me videos and different things. I'm like, I like that connection. Being like, this is somebody I've known for 20 years.
Yep.
On my Thrasher part back in 2001, and now he's making my first T-shirts. Because I think those little stories are important too.
And also, he's got a feel for who you are and what you like because you've had this relationship. It's not some new guy going like, oh, I didn't know you don't like cheeseburgers or like whatever.
Yeah. It's just like I wouldn't be doing this had we not have a connection too, because then it's like, okay, I'm gonna try talking to you, and what do we speak about? Like once a week, I get hit up by people. Hey, would you be on my podcast? And I'm like, not that I'm ever trying to diss on them. I don't think it's cool, but it's hard sometimes. People, I don't think, realize when you are, if you have any bit of fame or a name whatsoever, to just go ahead and open up to somebody that you don't know.
Yeah, and put a lot of trust in how it comes out.
This is actually, I mean, yeah, it's a conversation with a friend, but then when you know somebody's watching it the whole time, you're like, oh shit, does my hair look fine? Do I have a booger sticking out? Like, my dog's shaking the whole time. Like, little things actually like trip you out, and then somebody's watching and they could be like, why does he talk that way? Or why does he make funny faces? And you're like,
yeah, why'd I even bother?
So it's like having that connection is always nice, because that does make the things that are stressful that much easier, because even if people see that like, oh, you talk fine or you're fun to listen to, they don't understand that how much, like how hard this is. Like when you're like, hey, about 1:30, so from 10 o'clock to 1:30, you know, I'm just sitting there like sweating palms, like,
I know, I'm sorry. I was on the horn with Burn Dog and I was like, oh shit, this one's going a little longer. I've texted you like, dude, sorry, half hour longer.
Oh, it's not even that part. It's just knowing that I'm doing that. We're going live at some time and somebody has a chance to listen to you. And even though I don't care what anybody thinks, it's still, it's hard to 100% feel that way. Even though, like I said, like their opinion is their opinion and it's none of my fucking business.
Yeah.
But when somebody just wants to make fun of you for who you are when you put yourself out in the open, it hurts.
Yeah.
There's no denying that ever.
For sure.
You know, who just looks at you and goes, hey, Schmitty, fuck, you know, like, and just wants to, you know, say something about your personal appearance or something like. It's never fun.
Yeah, if I was going to sign up for that, I would just go hang out with Stable more often.
And now, another first impression with J.T. Aultz.
Hey Schmitty, this is JT Aultz, and this is my first impression of Corey Duffel. First time I met Corey, I was on my first trip with the Deluxe guys. We stopped at the Visalia skate park, and he happened to be there too. We said what's up, and I remember we both kind of knew who each other were. He rode for San Diego companies and was from San Francisco. I rode for San Francisco companies, and I was from San Diego, which was really uncommon at that time, so we both had that in common. We skated together and then went our separate ways, but years later ended up riding for the same shoe company. We started skating and traveling together a bunch, and I remember thinking how gnarly he was and always just trying to keep up, which was dangerous because he was clearly on another level than everybody else at that time. I also remember all the crazy crap he would say all the time just to get a reaction out of people. He would say the funniest shit just with a smirk on his face just to get someone to laugh or respond. But if you know Corey, you know his actions speak louder than his words. I think Corey has gone out of his way to help more skaters and friends than most people know. If you know Corey, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't like Corey, you probably have never met him. Corey and I have been lucky enough to have traveled the whole world together over the years, skating some of the best spots and worst spots, and having some of the best times and worst times together. He's one of my best friends and one of my favorite skaters of all time. He's a real one.
Yo, what's up? It's Corey Duffel. I'm here with Talkin Schmit, and we got a giveaway to do. Woo! Ow! Okay, so check it out. Sweatshirt from Adored, maybe some Devium gear. Who knows? Maybe a record. I'm gonna put something together for you guys, and check it out. I guess for the contest, tell me my favorite Ramones song. I don't even know if I even know it, but I know when I see the answers, I'm going to agree with somebody and go, yep, that's the fucking one for me. And anyways, email talkinschmit@gmail.com with your answer for a chance to win some cool shit. And check out the episode. Oh!
Hey, what age were you when you got like your first records?
That would have been, I was more into cassettes cassettes and CDs at that time. You know, that would have been, you know, early on, 7 through, 12 years old, but about 13 is when I started buying records.
And what do you think sparked it? Did somebody influence you, or like what made you?
There was a big influence behind it. Jacob Tillman,
the homie. I love that dude.
So, and once again, Bruce was even there. Jacob and Bruce were talking. They knew I liked punk music, and I was telling them I liked the Sex Pistols and the Clash and the Ramones and stuff like that. And then Jacob was like, "Hey, I want to make you a mixtape." Jacob made me a tape, and I couldn't find a lot of the artists on CD. I went down there with the Rasputins and Amoeba looking for stuff like The Jam, The Damned, Minor Threat was on there, Pinhead Gunpowder. Who else was on there? Youth Brigade, X was on it.
Damn.
A lot of just bands that I had never heard of at the time. I'm 13, and I can still remember the tape. Side A is Change the World, and side B was A Dark Day side, and it started off with, "What the fuck have you done?" Minor Threat's the first thing.
Yeah.
Whoa, in your eyes, this is kind of cool. But then Jawbreaker was on, Change the World, Save Your Generation. And this stuff is cool. So that tape that Jacob Tillman made me, that was one of those things that, it's a pivotal moment in my life that I go, that tape changed the world, changed my life. And I will openly admit that I'm not a gatekeeper. I will never not give credit where it's due and be like, "Oh, I was just born cool. I'm a fucking punk rocker."
Yeah.
I was introduced to a lot of cool shit, and it came in this very cool duct tape folded over wallet. It was so DIY at that time. Seeing that introduced me to a lot of stuff, and that's when I went from the little having blonde hair to I dyed my hair black, and I started fucking wearing safety pins and got a leather jacket. I was like, this is what speaks to me. This is cool. This is what I'm about. Seeing a guy, Jacob, with his nose piercing, tattoos, skin tight pants. I was like, I like this. This is a human being I like.
Oh yeah, cool. Fucking solid.
I was turned on by him. This is cool. He doesn't care. He does grabs. He skates how he wants. Skates fast.
Super. Yeah, just fun and good energy.
Yeah, so I loved it. So that was that mixtape is what got me into record collecting. And because what was it? Not the Cramps. There was somebody that was on it, and I couldn't find the CD because I was buying CDs at the time because they were available, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna buy this one." Yeah. And it was a record. And my mom was like, "Yeah, we had a turntable at the house, so I started buying records, and I was using the little kid's Fisher Price turntable at 13 years old again.
Yeah,
the one I used to listen to Puff the Magic Dragon on, and all my Mickey Mouse tunes as a kid. Pulled that back out, and now I'm listening to, The Damned on it.
Right. Huh. Fucking.
And then also Bruce's wife, Noelle. When I went to their house at 13, she had Lords of the New Church, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, and that introduced me to all the goth stuff. And I was like, Bauhaus and all this cool stuff. And so it was meeting an older person that showed me, told me some stuff, or I read about that other band in the liner notes, Bauhaus might have mentioned, the birthday party or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this band? I gotta find
eat it up, right? Nick Cave's the coolest. God damn it. For so generations, cool. It's just fucked. You're just like, God damn it. He did a bunch of the music on that Irish gang show, right?
Yeah.
What's it called? Sneaky Blinders, Peaky Blinders. Oh man. Yeah. So
but that's what, even on these t-shirts and sweatshirts I'm selling, it comes with a hang tag and it's a cassette tape. And if you scan it with your phone, it's not the same, but it takes you to a Spotify playlist I made, so you get a mixtape to listen to.
Nice.
So
that's a good idea. Dude, I love all that shit. Your packaging and all this stuff looking good.
Thanks. 'Cause to me, that's the stuff that matters. I want it to be relatable to somebody and personable. So when you get it, you go, oh, cool. I'm also a loser, just like this guy. I'm into it. Where it's not the cool guys club. It's you're a cool person for not being a cool guy, club. Just the freaks and the losers and the lovers.
Right.
You love skateboarding, I'm down with you. That kind of mentality.
Okay. I got one last record question, and then we're out of vinyl for the rest of the show. But Amoeba versus Discogs versus local record stores versus eBay. what's the majority of your record shopping? Are you one that stays away from Discogs because it's too easy, or do you go in? Is that just the go-to?
Okay, so first off, Amoeba's the greatest record store in the whole world, and we're lucky to have them here. I would not have the collection I have without, being from the Bay Area. That's a guaranteed. Being able to go to the Berkeley store and buy, Smith's records and Cure records for $2.99 back then, was incredible. As a teenager, you could actually afford to buy records there. So that was the local shop, Independent stores, always go to support an independent record store, even if it is $5 more expensive or $5 more than Amazon. Go to the record store, like the skateboard shop. That's the community. That's where you learn about stuff. That's what makes the music awesome. When you do deal with somebody curmudgeon like me, that's busting your balls, having fun. That's the whole experience behind it. You don't get an experience when you go to Discogs. All you get is a record that's not as good a quality as you hoped for. It's like, Discogs is fantastic. If you're looking for something that you've not been able to find for 20 years and it shows up, yes, you get that feeling like, oh, fuck, it's finally here.
Do you have the wish list?
Oh, you don't want to know about that wish list. That's like 500 pages deep. Every night, 8 o'clock at night.
I can't do that because I get the email every day with your favorite ice cream you've ever had every day tempting you. It's like, no, I'll eat it all, fuckers. Leave that away from me.
8 o'clock, 8:15 or something. Every night mine comes in, and every so often I'm like, fuck, buy it now. But I only do that when I have PayPal money.
Oh, okay. So you kind of like made money to spend money.
Yeah, but I sell my own. I have boxes over there full of records that I sell, and whatever. And if I sell my CDs or clothing or whatever, all those shirts I sold to Japan and everywhere else, that becomes my fun tickets.
Okay,
it's like, okay, it's in this weird weird little zone. It doesn't go into my bank account, and it just stays in this PayPal purgatory of, I'll use it. I know I have it to spend on other things. But I try not to use my credit card for, any record purchases, because otherwise I'd be fucked.
I feel that way when I go to Amoeba. Like I've jokingly said I won't go to Amoeba with a credit card. I'll only go with a cash amount that I've allowed myself to spend, because I'll spend every fucking dollar that's in my wallet easily.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's how. I mean, my first paycheck I ever got from skateboarding, was $300. That entire paycheck went to buying every Ramones record I could find.
Sick.
I can remember that, like being like, I'm gonna buy a first pressing of all the Ramones records, whichever ones I can find.
Is there some you don't have?
Yeah, there are. I mean, some different 7-inches I don't have, and now I've sold stuff over the years, thinking I would get it back, no problem, or that's an easy record to find. And now, 15 years later, I'm like, okay, that thing's now $300. I sold it for $20. I'll never get that again. And it is what it is. I'm a diehard collector and fan of it all, but I'm also easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
If I could listen to it on, the computer, I'll listen to it on the computer.
Okay.
Do I prefer to, listen to, hold something like, these things out? Of course, I'd way rather listen to it this way, but
yeah.
End of the day, it's a song. I just want to hear it, however I can. And if I could share that with somebody else, somewhere else, other way too, same thing. It's like, I'd much rather give somebody a mixtape, but if it means they have to go to my Spotify and listen to something, and it introduces them to music, and it might change their life, just like the Jacob Tillman tape changed my life, I think it's cool.
Yeah. What's the number one thing on your list that you've been looking for that if you get the email and it says, we have this, like, what's that one that what's up there that, like, God damn, for me, I could get it, but it's really expensive. It exists, but it's the Guns N' Roses special cover from Robert Williams that he did before the one that's mainstream.
Really?
Yeah, Robert Williams did a Guns N' Roses for Appetite of Destruction. He did the cover, and it was too controversial, so it got replaced. And that album's like $500 or something like that. And I'm like, someday I'll get it, but like not today.
Yeah, I mean, that's how. I mean, it's like, I would love like Joy Division, ideal for living. Like I have like the 1980 press, but like to have the 70, the original one.
Yeah.
Cool. The first Stone Roses one. Obviously that would be awesome. It's a 12-inch, and like being at my friend Andy's place, Andy Cousins in Manchester, and he was in the band, so he recorded it, and then when he played it for me, like carrying that one, I'm like, I would fucking love to have that record. I know there's so many of them that way, like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Not Nick Cave. This would be the Boys Next Door. It was like these boots are made for walking. It's not even that great, but I have everything else Nick Cave's ever put out. Birthday Party, anything like that he's ever been affiliated with besides that one.
Okay.
So that would like just complete that whole collection. So that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But then again, like I'm not gonna drop, $200-$300+ on it. If it came up for about $150, $200, I would probably go, yeah. And there was a time it came up on eBay and it was in shit condition. And I was like kind of fucking around with bidding on it. I was. And then my friend Rebecca in Australia, she actually won it. She's like, hey, look what I got. And I was like, how's the condition? She goes, it's not nearly as bad as it was marked. And I was like, fuck, I had a chance for it. I let it go. I think it was like 120 it went for. I was like, I don't want to spend 120 for like, I think it was marked as poor or fair. Something where, to me, if it's poor or fair, I mean, that's like someone's playing Frisbee with a dog with it, So, but then again, like I said, whatever.
All right.
It might exist one day.
All right. I got a few phone calls saying enough with the record swap talk.
Oh, people are actually talking to us right now. Wow.
No,
Yeah.
Hammocky said, God damn it, ask him how many times he's been in my Miata.
I thought it was a Honda, not a Miata, right?
Oh, no, he did. He had the Honda S2000 too, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was like the fake, like not the fake
Miata.
Yeah, the Honda Miata. Only one time I've been in that car, and it's when we went to spring break or spring training for the.
I was there, I think.
Yes, that's the only time. That was 2010, I believe.
The Yankow was in the house.
Yes, that was a fun time.
Yeah, it was good, man. Have you ever been in the van? You pull up to the spot, and people start calling dibs on the spot, like. You come up to a rail, it's like, I get Smith grind. Merlino's like, I get nollie flip down the 10.
Yes, and I try doing it to them all the time too. I go, hey guys, I know you're going to fucking just destroy this thing and, have a very good time on it. But can I maybe get mine before you do? Just maybe can I have the back lip on it before you guys flip nose on it? I was like, I don't care if you guys do the tricks that are way harder than the ones I want to do. I just want to do that one.
Yeah.
But I used to get that from Ethan all the time. He'd be like, Ethan Fowler would be like, Corey, this one's mine. And I'd be like, okay. And which I actually loved because it meant I got to watch my favorite skateboarder do a trick. So it's like, fuck yeah, it's on. If Ethan called it out, that meant like he was actually in the mood to skate. And you just sat down and you got to watch him fucking do his shit.
Yeah.
Which is magical.
So good, man.
Otherwise, you get the young bucks. I call this one goofy backside. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. And the regular guys go, I'm going to blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, I skate around the building. I go find the wall right at the curb. And I'm like, there's the slappy nose slide. And I'll come back. I'm like, you guys done? Okay, cool. I'm going to front board it now. And they're like, motherfucker, I didn't ollie flip back nose blind. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to front board it. And my shit's going to look sick too.
Yes. Holy shit. I was thinking about the old days because Poncho would just claim all the tricks the night before we even got there. Like, we'd be smoking weed and drinking beer. He'd be like, tomorrow I'm going to backflip this. And be like,
yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right.
A lot of people do. And I think I was always I just go with the flow. I go skateboarding, and if you get brought to a spot, see what happens. It's improvising. Like, I hated like planning things out. That's why shooting photos was hard a lot of times, because calling up, Luke Ogden calls you like, hey, you want to skate today? It's like, yeah, of course. You're like, yeah, I want to skate. It's almost like child abuse. You're a teenager and this grown man takes you out, watches you die, doesn't say a word, and all right, call you tomorrow. Like same thing goes on. And then or they just bring you to a spot that could potentially kill you.
Yeah.
That you,
especially nowadays.
But if you tell them no, you'll never have a chance to be in the magazine again. It's like that's very fucked up at times.
A lot of pressure.
Actually, yeah, it was gnarly. So once again, it's back to going full circle where I'm like, oh, it should be a certain way. But then I'm like, those days were actually very rough. I can remember going out, and even when I'd bring friends with me, they're like, that didn't look fun. Like, you just got brought to like 5 20-stair rails. You almost died. You did die on one of them, pretty much. Like, you got broke the fuck off. You covered in blood. You do it. There's not even like such, like, the photographers didn't really give you like high fives or say much. You're just like, good work. And then you hope, fingers crossed, you make it in the magazine and you don't get kicked off your sponsor, Where now the communication's a bit different. You call up somebody like, yo, Joe Brook, what up? Like, Joe was always a different, story, because that was actually fun going out with him.
Mm-hmm.
But it is wild because, you just got brought around and these people wanted to kill you, it felt like.
Yeah, I remember when the Butcher came to the U.S. for the first time, Mickey and Jake took him to every gnarly spot that was like a dream. Like, there's no way someone's doing this. And they just took Butcher to all of them and was like, you got something for this? It's like, dude.
And the thing is, you're stoked. And that's what's hard, because you're excited to do it too, because you want to prove yourself. You're like, I do want to be in this magazine, or I do want to be a pro skateboarder. I want to be sponsored. I do have I got what it takes, man, or whatever. So like, you're doing it, but you're like, at the same time, you're fucking terrified.
Yeah.
But it was a proving ground back then for a little bit too, because we didn't know this.
Well, you got to prove yourself. I mean, nowadays, I don't even know how they do it, because literally everyone is good, and skateboarding's so popular. It's like, at least back when we first started, skateboarding was very less. There weren't as many people doing it. So like, the good people stood out more, now it's fuck, how do you differentiate? Like,
imagine being in LA too, like Los Angeles, you'd be like, you get a skate park.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm the guy that hits the rock and falls and goes in front of everybody. I'm trying to do my nose slide. I would slip out on all the wax, and then everybody else there would be fucking just clowning me and like fucking doing the hardest tricks in the world. And you're like, that's what I have to do to even consider maybe getting flow. And back in the day, that's how it actually was. It's just, we had a weird, 20 years of this is the way it is, but when I watch like GNS footage, what makes it so cool is like, you see just all the weird abstract stuff about these people.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch Focus, and they're clearly progressing skateboarding in such a gnarly direction, but they stand out because they're just so special. And when I guess a human doesn't have that special or whatever about them, and that aura that we're attracted to, me personally, I don't care to watch them skateboard. Like, I want to see somebody that has that, like, they got the glow. I want it to be like The Last Dragon. I'm like, there's Bruce Leroy over there. Yeah, Joe Duff's got the glow. Like, maybe this dude's better at karate, but does he got the glow?
Yeah.
No. And there's those skateboarders that we see, and they have that, and that's, to me, is so much more attractive and so much inspiring and so much cooler.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm all over the place. I like it all.
Have you had too many surgeries to count, or do you have a number?
I think it's 13.
Fuck.
Yeah, a lot. I think maybe that's why I've become even more like, hey, I'm all over the place. I'm fried. I'm burnt. I think.
Yeah, I remember when Jake had a couple of surgeries within the same year. The doctor told him, like, you're not supposed to go under this many times this close together.
Yeah, I really do think it actually kind of
tweaks you out of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the worst one that you've had to come back from? Was the shoulder one it?
No, so I'd say the wrist actually did suck, only because you don't think of a wrist for skateboarding, but every time you fall or anything,
Salman Agha for life.
Yeah,
wrist guard.
You don't have this thing to prevent yourself from falling.
Yeah.
So then what becomes a minor slam, or like not even a slam, just a rollout, turns into an actual
pain.
An actual hit. But the last one I just had was pretty wild because it's the first knee issue I've ever had, and that's they did like
ACL.
No, it was a cartilage transplant.
Oh.
They drilled out a chunk of my femur and put in a cadaver cartilage on the articular cartilage of like the actual femur.
Fuck.
And it's been 8 months and still, like right now as we're doing this, I can feel my foot's numb right now. But then like 3 months ago, I felt good and I was skating and I was like, I'm back, baby, I'm ripping.
Does it react to the weather? Like if it's cold and rainy, do you feel different than when it's nice
Absolutely.
and yeah?
And as you notice right now in the Bay, we're having strange weather. It's like
super cold.
And then it's like summertime. And then I'm like, I'm back. I feel good. And then it goes back to this coldness. And I'm like, wait a second. Shit just falls up out of nowhere.
Yeah. And my arthritis flares up. Like, I'm like, oh, I guess it's going to rain tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'll be 37 next month. And I've eaten shit a lot of times. And skateboarding hurts. So it's like, I don't even remember what I felt like though when I was like 13. So it's like, what do you compare it to? I remember yesterday hurt, but a week ago hurt too. Last year hurt. So it's like, keep moving forward and keep skating. And
that's just it. It's like our life is all we know. Like you can talk about your life all you want, but like I wake up with this shoulder pain every morning. That's all I know.
Exactly, right? That's how I know. I'm like, okay, now I have a knee pain. I've never had a knee pain in my life. Everyone's like, oh, you have fucked up ankles or fucked up knees, right? I'm like, no, actually, I've never had bad ankles or knees. I snapped my ankle one time, but I don't have like these chronic ankle pains. And like you hear some skateboarders like, oh, my ankles. I've never woken up and I'm like, oh, god damn, my ankle's killing. I'm like, I feel pretty awesome. Like right now, before I was waiting to get on this call, I was out pumping some iron and I'm like, I feel good.
Okay.
I might not look good, but I feel good.
We got a Peloton. I've just been riding the bike like every day. It's so it's my guilty pleasure. Like I never thought I'd be this dude, but I'm so into it. I'm hyped.
Oh, big dog's in.
I feel really good. I lost 11 pounds since New Year's.
I think I'm up 11 pounds since then.
I cut ice cream out of my diet because me and Baca were eating these things called Halo that's supposed to only be like 100 calories for the whole pint. And I tricked myself to thinking like, oh, this is fine. And all of a sudden I'm like, this ain't fine. I got a
ice
gut.
Cream, it hits you hard, baby. That's how cinnamon rolls. I was those for,
dude. You still got the fryer?
I got it for her. I got all sorts of bad stuff, and I'm like
fried Twinkies.
I do it all. I like to eat bad, like I'm not a health nut.
Right.
I've never. I like to eat. My diet has always been. I eat what I want to eat.
Here's the concern I have. I haven't talked to you since this. I'm watching your Instagram, and I see this CBD world that you're getting into. Has that been like something that you've benefited from, and have you dabbled with THC because of it?
So totally benefit on two reasons. Obviously, financially, they take care of me, which is fucking amazing.
Oh.
It's a company that I believe in, CBMD, where they fucking pay me to be me. They're like, we're not paying you to go fucking kill yourself and jump off buildings. Like, we sponsor you because of what you've done with skateboarding, and we know you're in pain. You do have some chronic pains. I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. So that shit does feel good. Like when I rub it on, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm down for it. But I was always a believer in like arnica or anything natural that's going to help you out. And even if something helps you out, even the smallest amount, 1%, 2%, or 3%, that's better than where you were beforehand. And as you would know with your shoulder, those days when you wake up and it feels, 1% better than it did the day before, you're like, man, I could go fucking throw some fastballs today. I feel good.
Yeah.
And so that part is very cool. I actually like the product. I like everyone there, but I don't dabble with the THC stuff too much, and not because I have a problem with it. I just personally don't like the feeling of being, high.
Yeah.
This is, if I've been real fucked up in pain or certain things, I'll eat like an edible, or I'll munch on some, some some weed gummies, and if it's just a bit, that's fine. But like when I've been like okay, I'm soaring through outer space and I'm not like fully in control of myself. That's not a feeling I personally dig.
Right.
Maybe it's kind of fun, but I'm like, like I already slur enough and I'm trying to talk and I'm already like giddy, and it makes me like, hey, Schmitty.
Yeah. Little giggle pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you've never drank, right? Or
no.
Yeah. So you've stayed away from partying like throughout the whole time. I trip on that because it must, like, we talk about the peer pressure of like being a young kid that's trying to like kind of like come up and like, you know, like impress his peers by like doing a gnarly trick or whatever it is. Yeah. But then there's also the peer pressure of being in the van and people are passing around a cigarette or a joint or handing off beers and stuff. And like, that's must have been challenging at times to be like sitting there with like Ethan or whoever your idols are, and they're like doing this and you're like, that's just not for me and I'm going to stay true to myself.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I got in the van, you know, at 13, you know, being on Think and seeing guys I looked up to, you know, doing lines or whatever. And it's like, that stuff affected me because coming from a household where drugs were like, my dad was he's a drug addict. So being around that stuff again, like skateboarding was my escape for, you know, from home life for a lot of reasons. And, you know, I had a lot of, you know, childhood trauma or whatever. So I had something fly in the face. And someone's like, what are you smacking at? This guy's
you got to get out the chopsticks.
Yeah. So, you know, I had childhood trauma, and then, you know, like skating really got me out of the house and away from things I always like to talk about. And then to be around that all the time was like, fuck, this sucks. Or when you're a teenager, all your friends start to dabble with that shit. And I see all my friends, you know, falling off of skateboarding, you know, just to get high all the time or get drunk or blah, blah, blah.
Maybe you live vicariously. Like, I saw what this does. I don't need that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was just never for me. Like, even like these little kids I'm homies with that were helping me like pack my boxes. Hey, Blixa, chill.
That's sick that you named your dog Alexa. Does it get mixed up with the Amazon thing?
His name's Blixa, but people always think it's Alexa. They're like, oh,
Alexa, turn the channel.
I'm like, his name is Blixa, but yeah. But like, still seeing these kids, you know, my buddies from over here, the local kids, they're at the age where they're starting to dabble with weed a bit. I got showing them letters for my friends in prison. Like, hey, here's a bunch of letters for my friends in prisons who, you know, they started smoking weed, you know, at like 12, 13, and that led to everything else. Now, then fucking being on drugs, you know, killing somebody and blah, blah, blah. And now they're in life for prison. And all the letters, you know, them going, I wish I would have just kept skating and stayed away from drugs. And I'm not telling any 13-year-old to 16-year-old kid not to, you know, experiment and do what they want to do, but just letting them know, like, don't let it like take over your life. Like,
be careful.
Awesome. That's all I want to do, because especially in skating, I've seen it. You've seen it, like how many talented motherfuckers just gone, families there.
Dude, fentanyl is no joke either. It's like, fuck fentanyl forever. And like, if you're getting into anything that they can put fentanyl into, maybe just don't get into it. Like, that's what I would say. And as far as like the cool shit, weed or mushrooms or stuff that's like natural and people want to experiment with, the thing I would say that I wish my friends told me is you could buy 1/8 of mushrooms. You don't have to take the 1/8 of mushrooms. You could take a little and feel it out. We were just like all or nothing with everything we did. And it was just like, ah! It was just a mess.
And, you know, I'm sure mushrooms are a lot of fun. I know doses, and they're like, I feel good. I love life.
Yeah.
Because you're amazing. I'm sure I would fucking really love it.
You'll laugh a lot.
Yeah, I have no issue with weed, and I think it's just when teenagers are doing it too much. I'm like, hey, let your brains develop first before you stunt yourself.
Straight.
You know, like, I think people should smoke weed if they want to, or vape, but whatever they want to do with it, eat it. Yeah, it does help a lot of people out. It's an incredible plant, but yeah, I just don't like kids, you know, partying too hard, because we've seen the effects of it, and that's me as a human that cares for other humans and wanting people to do their best and actually use their full potential. And then when I see someone just pile out that could have been a chance to be a pro skateboarder, kids I know, I'm like, that kid has it. And then I just see them, just, what's up, bro? It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
maybe they didn't want it to begin with, and so it's not my choice anyways. But it's like, man, do you really want to be Floyd from True Romance and just hang on the couch all day? Like,
condescend me, man. Fucking kill you, man.
there's more to life than that,
Oh,
but maybe
man.
I don't know because I'm not the one out fucking, microdosing all the time.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. How does it all go down? Where's the name come from? Because I've adored skateboarding my whole life.
Yes.
And now you're adored skateboarding.
It's something that we love and we adore it so much. And then I like the D on the verb better, adored. I think it sounds cooler than adore. It could come from 3 different things. Obviously, Smashing Pumpkins album, Ava Adore, great album. A band called Adorable, another great band. Stone Roses, I Want to Be Adored. Fucking another great. There's like 3 badass adores right there. It just looks cool. Like, I'll look at the name, I'm like, it looks good on a shirt. Doesn't need to be something where it doesn't have to just be Thrasher. Like, to me, that was special because I'm a skateboarder and it's saying skate and destroy. Well, fuck you. But this is I think it's a bit more androgynous or even ambiguous, where it doesn't have an actual meaning to just skateboarding, and it's adored skateboarding because it's what we love. And I don't want to ever just be a skateboard company that's going, here's my pro model, here's my pro team, this is what we're about, blah, blah, blah. I want it to be more of a collective where it's, I adore skateboarding, who has inspired me, who else is adored. Can I do a pro model board with Schmitty? Yeah, I'm going to give Schmitty, not a pro board, but I'm going to give Schmitty a skateboard because this is somebody exactly who I think is cool. And because I see them as an artist, whatever. Or I'm like, hey, could we do a Paul Zuwanich board? Whatever. Something. I want to do special things to me because skateboarding is so special, and it's what I adore so much and what a lot of us do. And I could do collaborations with artists. Like the first board that just came out was with my friend Matt. Matt's mentally ill. He's bipolar, but he's an amazing artist that loves skateboarding. And he struggles with terrible mental health issues. And so I was like, dude, if I could do a skateboard that's going to celebrate an artist that's, struggling with suicidal thoughts and depression and bipolar mental health issues, I'm like, to me, that's something that's cool because that might reach out to somebody else that goes, oh, there's a story into it. To me, it's about the stories and the journey and the adventure compared to me like, here's another skateboard brand, here's another skate deck, blah, blah, blah. I want it to be something special. Like, this is a kid I've known for a long time, and he's passionate about what he does, and I adore him for that, blah, blah, blah. And so let's work on something together. Let's collaborate. Because, once again, I don't want it to ever be about just me. If anyone's ever like, oh, that's some kind of cocky thing with a narcissist, what, he thinks he's adored? It's the complete opposite of that, because I'm like the farthest thing away from a narcissist. I'm like, I'm the most insecure motherfucker ever. Like, I'm going, oh, how do I look here? Oh my gosh. It's like, I want to do it with just the people who inspire me, which artists, musicians, photographers, videographers, whatever you do, if it's somebody I have a connection with, those are the type of people I want to work with. So once again, adored, it just seemed like a bitchy name that kind of goes with all that. In so many thousands of words, it could have just been, I like the name. It looks cool.
Okay. Were you thinking about this when you were on Foundation, or after Foundation did this become your next journey? Like,
this was something I wanted to do while on Foundation. I even pitched the idea to them as well. I wanted to do something with them, and they weren't interested in really doing anything with me, it seemed, at all. And Kevin Rodriguez was like, you need to start up your own company. I mean, not even just him. Lots and lots of people have been telling me that for a long time. Like, why do you ride for a company that doesn't respect you, doesn't care about you, when you could be doing something where your fans will actually want to be able to, you know, get something from it. And it took, you know, 3.5 years I've been like planning on it, and finally got the courage to go, you know what? I'm gonna get my toes wet. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna make that jump.
Right.
'Cause it's scary. It's like I put myself in an uncomfortable position for a long time for a small paycheck compared to just taking a jump and taking that risk myself, because I got comfortable and I realized I didn't like that comfortable feeling. It was time to go, you know what? Let's get uncomfortable again. Let's get weird. Like I'm staying flat. I don't like that anymore. Like I'm not happy. I was in between a rock and a hard place constantly.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed of being told no so much and not being included on things. It's like, why accept that when I could actually, you know, get out of that situation? You know, like I needed to just assess the problem and be like, what is my problem right now? It's actually, this is what's bringing me down constantly. How do I get over here, and how can I fix that? And so I just said, okay, fuck it. I'm going to, you know, come up with a goal, short-term goals and long-term goals, and find a way to reach what's going to make me happier.
So what is the first year plan? Like, you're going to do a couple releases of boards, you get shirts, you got stickers, like, or are you doing it on the fly, or do you have an idea?
I have ideas, but it's also on the fly because, once again, like we talked about organization earlier. If I have Rachel, nothing would be able to.
Is she helping you?
A little bit on the side. I mean, she's so busy with her own thing. It's just a thorn in her side.
Right.
Like, God damn it, Corey. I really have to take care of you more. But as we all know, there's always a better woman behind any man that does anything.
Yeah.
That's just a fact, you know, like anybody that knows Rachel knows that. Yeah, I got a very fucking cool wife that is definitely running the show. You know, it's not just, it's like straight up, yes, this is the goddess, this is my queen and the king. She's the one that takes care of everything. I have ideas, but I have thousands of ideas, and I love coming up with ideas and creating things, but I need help, and I'm not scared to ask for the help. You know, like, I need help, you know, how do I go from point A to point B? And that's when I have to reach out to people and be like, how does this happen? How do I do it? Get
some tips from friends along the way. But like in the beginning, like the first one was, you had what, 2 different boards?
Yes. So,
and you just did a drop and they all were gone in one day.
10 minutes, everything sold out.
Winner.com.
Things are looking good.
Yeah, that was very cool. And obviously, so the struggles with it, I finally decided to launch when COVID hit. You know, like I started working on it last year in last March or February, when I was like, this is it. I'm finally going to make it happen. Fuck it. I've been thinking about it for too long. It's finally time just to, you know, say, okay, motherfucker, pull the trigger on it and do it. And that was last March. And then I submitted some the graphic my friend Matt did, which is the one from The Shining that he painted. And then all of a sudden, so I was like, yeah, I was told it would take, you know, like 8 to 10 weeks to get boards. It took over 9 months to get boards. So that was
and then 10 minutes to sell, and then you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, now I'm like, I don't have more boards. So what am I going to do now?
But you can make shirts quick and soft goods, right?
And so I'm going to do some of that as well too. And there's a lot of ideas I have and goals I'm trying to set with it, where, like, for instance, I would love to do a show with it as well too, like what we're doing right now. Like, not saying, oh, I am the podcast or anything, but it's always been a dream to have a show that talks music and skateboarding with friends, or just have people over and we're just goofing off. Like,
yeah,
how can we, you know, just go into the weight room, like, how much weight can, you know, Schmitty bench press, whatever. You're just having fun.
At least, you know? 10 pounds.
To me, once again, the name adored. It's so much more than just the skateboarding part. It's a way of life.
Right.
You know, saying it's choice of the lost generation. Just people that are down. It's for the freaks and the losers, and people that are just interested in other things besides gnarly crooked grinds and Guinness Book of World Records. You know, frontside flip.
You better leave this shit in here. Don't be this is negative or not. This is life.
If you love skateboarding and you love being a dork about it, that's like the crowd I'm into. Not even the crowd, those are the people I care about because I am that people, you know, that's what I'm about.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of different things I want to do with it, but I'm still just like all over the place, my head cut off because now I'm like, holy shit, everything's sold. People actually did care. My gosh, fucking.
Well, I think there's a few things. Obviously, you know, you're a stand-up dude and you've stood up for yourself in a lot of ways and like explained yourself, and we're all kids. We grow up, we do this shit, and here I am doing what I still love, and the passion is undeniable. I'm the evil Knievel of my generation. I've had like 13 fucking surgeries. How much more of myself can I give to this goddamn thing? So people appreciate, I mean, Tim McKenney, he told me, dude, my friend's 51 years old and fucking Corey Duffel's his favorite skateboarder.
Is that real?
And like, you know, like it's a real deal thing. So like there's that. But then like what you did was you took all these people that you had in your life, and you've had some super legendary, influential people, you know, throughout your life. You got Wade, you got Jehovah, you got Phil, you got Ethan Fowler. I mean, the list goes, it's deep. And these are like legendary people, like not just like a cool dude. It's like, no, it's like the coolest dude. You want to talk backlips? Ethan Fowler? Yeah, I know him. Check. All that. And then what you did was sick, dude. Like the graphic, I love the fucking frame, the one that you did the frame with you and the dog, real subtle, but in the background, like, and you're paying homage to these things. And it's just like, nah, dude, you just keep doing you, and it's a runaway train. You're gonna learn just like you did skateboarding. Like, oh fuck, I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm gonna learn from those mistakes. And like, you know, you got a good backing. People are stoked on you. And
oh mama, and it's cool. It's just hard when you get told no for so long. It really fucks with your confidence at times. You're like, oh man, maybe I can't do this. And then you see like for me to see all the love come in on Friday when it released, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there are people that care. This is so cool.
That's so rad.
I care so much about them and skateboarding, and as I've said, I would have no career in skating if it had not been for the fans. You know, like they're the ones that have allowed me to continue to do this for so long, because if they weren't interested in watching my video parts or anything, it would be like, sayonara, bye-bye.
Yeah.
But they continue to care, and that stuff means the world to me, and it makes me like, I feed off it. I mean, we all feed off good energy, and nobody wants negativity in their life. And
no, everybody needs a pat on the shoulder.
Yeah, thank you.
Nobody's gonna be like, oh no, I don't need a compliment, I don't need a little love, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and it took a long time to accept that too, and be like, you know what, hugs are nice, it's good to be happy. Like for a couple of years I thought I wanted to be Mr. Tough biker guy, and I was like, that's not who I was. I was trying to, you know, reinvent something. You know, growing up hitting, you know, I was late 20s, skateboarding didn't feel right anymore. And I was depressed on skateboarding, which was hard, you know, being hurt and then being told you're not good enough, or, you know, paychecks get cut, and you're like, man, I wish somebody would just be honest to me and talk to me in a normal way. Or just skateboarding in general is weird because we're not set up to, you know, succeed or fail. It's just, you're an independent contractor, and then once it's gone, and nobody just lets you know, like, hey, skating sucks. We're going to use you for a couple of years, and then if you get hurt, goodbye, you know, or at least be honest about it. You know, that would maybe be nice too. Like, you know, if you fuck up, you cut, or you're going to make, you know, $6,000 a year for maybe 2 years. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But if it's not, maybe he might not want to do it. There's so much to it. And then finally it hit that point where it's like, I'm a skateboarder. I love skateboarding, and I like being around other skateboarders. So the ones I want to pick and choose, I want to be around, and I want to smile and I want to laugh, and that's why we do this to begin with. Like, why do I want to be Mr. Sup? I'm a tough guy. That wasn't me. And so it took a lot of, you know, walking backwards and going down the wrong roads to rediscover where I was, and that's kind of, once again, where this whole thing comes from. Being like, you know, it's just fun. it's a cool name, and
and you nailed it. It does look good on the shirt. Whoever made the font and stuff, it looks good. Like it's
all me just doing it too. So and once again, it was just I was hugging my pillow. I needed my comfort.
Yeah. And I like the nice touch. You might not have stole this from Jerhobel, but he does the exact same thing where he gives it his touch. Like, this is from me, so I'm going to give. It's almost like sending somebody a letter. It's like I signed it. I put my little 2 cents on it, and that means a lot. Kids love that shit. It's like, dude, mine's different than yours. Like, they're all individual.
And that's how I want the first 100 boards. Every one I signed differently, and I drew a different drawing on every one of them, every single one of them, because that matters. And once again, that comes from Blender, Gons, Ed Templeton, Jerhobel, the artist who I cared about a lot as a kid.
I skateboard, but I'm an artist. I love art and I love you.
They are artists.
Hi, you found me. It's hard to find me because I'm so into art.
They're not just skateboarders, they're actual artists to me. They're weirdos and they're independent people. I never wanted to be like anybody else, and nobody should,
Yeah, no, 100%.
Everyone's taken. Be yourself, So it's like, and once again, like something like this, I always thought my little doodles were just things I draw on napkins or whatever. And I'm like, I would never put that on something. And then having that little bit of confidence when one of your friends does tell you something like, hey, I like that, you should make a t-shirt. It's very easy to go, oh, cool, yeah, whatever, man, thank you. But then when you actually do it, you're like, that might not have happened had that one person actually, told you, how they actually truly feel. And then when you get that, it really brings you up, and it's gassing your friends. And that's what we all have to do. Like, it takes sometimes high five or that smile at somebody, or when you see somebody without a house on the street or a homeless person, and you just ask them, how are you doing today? People ask me, like, why do you always talk to homeless people? I'm like, I don't know. Well, a lot of people don't. Maybe a smile just goes a long way for them. Maybe it makes them feel good that day.
Yeah.
I know I like it when somebody, says hello to me as I'm doing my morning hike. I'm like, hey, hi, to you too. Enjoy your day.
Yeah. I love seeing the old ladies happy. Like, it's like, it gives you promise or hope. You're just like, she's killing it.
I got one of those yesterday, yeah. As I'm walking with Blix and Rachel, she must have been, about late 70s, and she goes, I love your hair. That is fun. I was like, I told Rachel, she must be a mom. And Rachel goes, she's probably just a cool lady. I was like, only moms say cool stuff like that. She must have had wild kids. She's cool. But yeah, it made my day so much more happy. Like, that's so cool.
We're winding down. I want to ask you a few, maybe 2 or 3 questions I got here from some of the Instagram people. Curb_swinging. How many studded belts have you owned?
I've had a lot of studded belts throughout the year. And actually, last weekend, I gave Sharal Strawberry my original bondage belt and studded belt that I had from my time, like 14 years old, 13 or 14. I've had them this whole time. They didn't fit me anymore, obviously, but she has my last 2 ones that I kept throughout all these years. I would say over the years, there's had been at least a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, a dozen for sure.
Are you purposely trying to purge?
Yeah, I was trying to. I finally was like, you know what? I think if it makes somebody else happier than just sitting in my closet, that makes me feel good too, to be like,
yeah,
if somebody else gets something, I go, I don't need this anymore. Then it's hard because like for instance, like when my grandmother died, going through her house and having to like you see stuff just getting thrown away or just like what to do with it. I was like, man, it's so sad just seeing like photographs and like things get just tossed and stuff that meant something to somebody. So I was like, maybe if somebody actually is asking me for this, it means something to them. Compared to like when I was having like suicidal thoughts, I'm like, man, what if I did this, somebody gets stuck with all this crap? I was like, man, that would be such a bummer for them. Like that's how I feel constantly with these goddamn records. I'm like,
records is the worst one. It's like it's a double-edged sword. You're like, I love them, but like they're hard as shit to move, and they're gonna be tough to take from.
And it's like we're talking about winding down. And my problem is I talk too much because studded belts and all of a sudden turns to suicide. And then, oh my gosh, what the?
All right, well, let's do.
I like studded belts. I like them.
Let's do another one. This is Char Nar Sunny Far. You got to give them credit for the name.
Yes.
Top 5 favorite punk/hardcore bands.
So I always break everyone's hearts with this one. Not everybody. I break everybody's hearts. No, I don't like hardcore music. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Never have been. Like, it's just like I don't like a lot of American punk music, and it fucking really bothers people. There are like some that I really like quite a bit, but I'd say number 1. Obviously, Paul Weller doesn't say he's a punk and never has been, but The Jam is my favorite punk band of all time.
Good morning, Smithers Jones.
Yeah, that's actually Bruce Foxton. But, so to me, The Jam is so punk rock because they were so much different than everybody else at the time. They kept moving forward. They were never stale. So The Jam to me, is number 1 always. The Birthday Party, I'm just going to... Even though it's more post-punky, we'll call it punk. I will definitely say Sex Pistols as well, because why fucking not? Sex Pistols rule. Steve Jones' guitar is great, but also because I will put Public Image Limited with them too. I'm going to combine those two. Also say, this is just right off the top of my head. I have different ones every day depending on what day you ask me. Probably, The Ramones, of course. Ramones that'd actually maybe be number 1 just because. And then it's another good one. I fucking love The Clash. I'm not going to deny that. I like the classic ones, like the bands that, influenced me a lot as a kid, the ones that were number 1. And then I guess if we're going to do something more obscure, there's a band called Satan's Rats. I like them quite a bit. They turned into a band called The Photos. I don't know, there's like...
You could go on forever.
Pull something out and be like, oh, the Scabs. Oh, yeah, that's great English punk. You know, I got, Schoolgirl Bitch. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I got 3 copies of those because I like it so much, and when they're named Schoolgirl Bitch, what? And this is how punk rock it is. They got sued by another band called Bitch for having Schoolgirl Bitch in front of me. Like, a punk band sued another punk band in 77? Oh. Punk is dead. Fucking lame. Screaming Mimi's New Zealand punk, great. There's just like, it's never ending if like we really talk about it. It's like, that's what I'm just saying. I like the basics, like The Damned, Clash, Sex Pistols, Ramones, The Jam. You can't go wrong with any of them. Sex Game Children, maybe it's goth, but it's also punk. It's like, it's never ending. So,
right.
It's a very cool name. I couldn't tell you which ones I like the best. That one I like. Scientist. In fact, there's 2 copies of it.
Damn. All right. I'll send you my address.
That one. Like those are originals. Like I like having original records.
I love 45s. It's my new kind. I never got into them. Like I don't have that many, but now I'm like, well, it makes sense. You can get way more.
Yeah. I feel like they're just fun. Like, and picture sleeves is so cool. And I love that a band couldn't maybe afford studio time to do a full LP, but they could get enough money together to go in and record 2 songs that they think are badass. I like how they're short, they're to the point, it's fucking sharp, it's awesome. It's just the signature sound of punk rock and all that stuff. It's DIY at its finest. So to me, singles are they're amazing.
Yeah, and it keeps you in, like, you play one song, then you got to put on another one. Like you're moving and shaking. It keeps you on your toes.
I like that too, because you actually sit down and you listen to it. You have 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes where you're like focused on it and you're like, this is a great song. And you have friends over and you're having cups of, you're enjoying tea with a friend and you're like, let's fucking listen to music today.
Yeah.
Let's listen to singles. And when you DJ, it's badass when you show up with a box of singles. You're like, yep.
Here we go. This isn't the Jefferson Brothers with a fucking iPhone and just hit play, man. I don't know how that's a DJ. I got mad love for Atiba and his brother Akko, mad love, but I don't understand how this is a DJ. I know you're a movie connoisseur. What was the last movie you've seen?
The last one, dude, we watched some Nick Nolte movie last night. I can't remember what it's called. fucking real piece of crap.
Okay.
But I did watch one a couple days ago. My parents recommended me. My dad's like, watch this one. It's gonna make you sick. And it was called I Care a Lot. Did you watch that one?
I've seen it. Yes. You want to watch another one that'll fucking like it? This one had me like this.
Yeah.
The Sound of Metal.
Okay, I don't know it.
It's so fucking like, ooh, it's okay. You'll love it. It's a drummer of it's a drummer and his, I don't know if it's a girlfriend or fiance or whatever, but they're a couple and it's a 2-piece band and they're just like, super loud. And he's the drummer and his ears, he starts going deaf and it's the whole journey. And there's parts where they did the movie so good where like you hear what he's hearing and it is so like, you're just like, make it stop. It's like, it's really, it's heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check that one out. I don't care or no, I care a lot. Yeah. That one was fucking.
It's hard. I miss going to the cinemas. There are a couple things I really miss. I'm one of these people. I enjoy going out to cinemas. I like paying to go to the theater. I like paying for overpriced popcorn to keep these places alive because to me it is culture and celebrating the arts. And I was having lunch today, some takeaway Thai, and I was like, I really miss actually like a Chinese lunch special with a friend and going to a movie. Those are like little things in life that
absolutely.
Once again, that's what Adore it is, like Chinese lunch special with your friend and going to the cinemas. It's just sharing good times,
I think I got a pho date tomorrow.
Lucky.
We're gonna try to do 6 feet mask.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah. We end with a song. So think about what song we're gonna play. You don't have to have it. You just need to announce it, and I'll put it in. But we got it. This is a question that I got for you because it weighs on me, and I think about it all the time. Jake Phelps, I worked with him. We know my relationship with him. He always said, skateboarding owes you nothing. How do you feel about that?
I never got that quote, to tell you the truth. I mean, but I didn't get Jake a lot of times either.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, for instance, I'm standing there for a second in my room. There's Jake right there, though.
Oh, yeah.
So, actually, I like Jake, but he's somebody I care a lot about and respect so fucking much. There's not many photos there's no photos of random people that I don't love in this room. This photo is right next to the photo of my mom. So it's like, pretty important. And it's on a photo with Susie Sue, right next to Paul Weller and Pete Townsend, right above a photo of Charlie Brown and Ethan Fowler. So there's obviously, the guy means something to me.
Yeah. I don't know. We've been talking a lot about just trying to figure out like, whether it be a nonprofit or something that like helps these people that need help after they've brought so many people so much joy and so much so much influence. It's immeasurable. Like, I mean, Tony Hawk, there's one Tony Hawk, it's like, not everybody gets to like have 6 houses and be on TV and have video games and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to be millionaires, but like people don't need to be in so much pain. And
I was having a conversation about it with Rachel this morning where I was on a suicide prevention conference for the Ben Ramers Foundation last week. And we were talking about suicide and some other stuff, and I was talking to Ben Ramers before he killed himself, and we were both talking about how we struggle as professional skateboarders, knowing that we're going to get dropped from our sponsors or that we get these pay cuts right now, and you don't know what you're going to do, because as soon as it's done, the fucking high, you just left high and dry, it's gone.
Right.
A lot of people are like working on the education from the time they're young, or they're trying to figure out a job. It's so easy for someone on like the Slap message board to be like, grow up, get a life. They don't understand. You spend fucking 20 years doing this. This is your life. This is everything you know. Mm-hmm. And then when the people you think that actually are your friends abandon you, don't tell me, oh, get a job or go do this. You don't know how it actually really truly feels, because you truly, when you love it and you are sponsored and you've been sponsored since you're 12 years old, you've given your entire life to it. You actually don't know life outside of this. And so it's a very complicated thing to be like, oh, it's easy. Oh, tomorrow's going to get better. You're like, hold on. My body hurts. It hurts sometimes. And then you're like, mentally, I feel like I'm a fucking second grader at other times. You know, like
Absolutely. I mean, how many kids dropped out of high school or school in general just so they could pursue this to the degree that they did? So when they get to, if they're lucky, 40 years old or in their 30s, where they're like kind of on the tail end of their career without any education and stuff, and now it's time to start, it's like
it's hard. It's discouraging. It's like when you go back to school when you are a kid and the kid next to you took summer school and she's really good or he's really good at math and you suck at algebra because you had never done it before, but they had a tutor all summer. It makes you feel like you're fucking slightly very stupid, and you're like, are you actually stupid, or do they just have a head start towards things? You know, and it's like life. It's how like racism is too. You know, if you can't acknowledge that you've had a head start on something, you're completely blind to what's going on, and that's just terrible way to live. You know, it's people don't have compassion for a lot of things, and I think it would be fucking fantastic, as Rachel and I were talking this morning, to see something actually happen where, whether it's, the industry talks to, the writers, like saying, hey, you're completely useless to us, just be honest and blunt about it. Or they'd be like, how can we set something up for people to do something after? Or especially when you have these corporate companies coming in now, like I see, these big fashion brand advertisements, and I see these big shoe companies doing things. And I get reached out to talk about suicide prevention, yet I was begging, trying to get on, a shoe deal with somebody. I can't get anything, of course, but then yet you want me to talk about suicide prevention and depression, and you're like, you're wondering where the depression comes from. Sometimes it's these big contracts, because also I'm told I can't get on the team because I don't fit the image you want, but yet then I have these fans telling me, why aren't you on the team, but this guy's on the team or whatever, and then you get cut, and you're like, and you feel like you just useless. Of course there's going to be some issues out there. So I disagree with that whole statement, Skip really owes you nothing. I feel like it's manipulation. It's actually always been these like weird brainwashing tactics that the industry's put onto the writers to make you feel even more like you're useless, when in reality you're not useless. It's the same as a baseball player. If Barry Bonds showed up to the stadium and if the team booed him, he'd be like, you guys are fucking dicks. Whether he did void it out or not, and he did do some kooky things, you're like, that's Barry Bonds. That guy should always have a place in that dugout for the things he did for the team. It's a tough one where it's like I mentioned with pro skateboarding. I don't know the difference between like who should be pro and who shouldn't be, because if you're inspiring somebody, it's cool, and skateboarding is not a sport whatsoever. So, what's a pro skateboarder even mean? And then back to this, like, what's it owe you? I don't know what it owes you, what owes any of us. But I think when you've worked for a company for over 20 years, you should at least get an Instagram post saying goodbye. Thank you.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Something, I don't know. Just like anybody that works at the magazine. The magazine could not be what it is without the people who are the backbone behind it. And that's how all skateboarding is. And there should always be some kind of like, if we see the pros who we care about, panhandling on the street, it's sad. Like, how do we take care of this person?
Yeah.
Like, that person should not be in that situation. As humans, how do we even allow that to happen? Or like, it's sad. But I'm an emotional person. I hate seeing people I care about, hurting and struggling. For instance, and this is completely off topic, but I saw Lenny Kirk last week at the skateboard park.
No way.
I was like, oh shit, there's Lenny Kirk. For me, that's somebody, we're speaking about this, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure he's done some modern things maybe, but Lenny Kirk did so much for skateboarding back then, and I'm still inspired by his skating. for like, I would like to see somebody like that still somehow be affiliated with it if they chose to, if they wanted it.
Right.
You know, or any of these people that I feel like, hey, do we need to take care of these guys, or is it just a handout? I don't know. But some people I do feel like, especially some of the damaged dudes, or if it's mental health issues.
For sure. Yeah. Haslam's doing that stuff, right? Too. The suicide prevention stuff, the Ben Ramers Foundation. I talked to him about that. Where'd you see Lenny at? What park?
Nevada skate park.
No way.
Yeah. Also,
Random.
I'm like, that dude looks so familiar. And he's hanging out in his big poofy, white Adidas. And I'm like, fucking hell, that's Lenny Kirk. And I was like, hi Lenny, my name's Corey. He goes, I met you 20 years ago.
No way.
And I was like, oh, dude, Lenny Kirk, sick. I was excited. But just, so once again, how you said, the emotion, or like the stoke that skateboarders bring people. Someone on the slap side could say, these guys fucking jokers, they can talk all the shit they want. Me seeing Lenny Kirk in the wild, that got me fucking hyped.
Right.
That made my day to be like, I started singing the time code song instantly, and I started thinking about Switchback 180 nose grind on Hubba, and all switching that slide and everything out. And I'm like, the fucking cornrows and Jesus saves and everything, and I'm like, it made me happy.
Sick.
And that one person, for 1 second out of the corner of my eye, sitting on a ledge filming his friend do a frontside flip over an orange cone. And that's what skateboarding is. And that's what, to me, what this motherfucking thing is, because it gets you stoked. And if you don't feel that, you probably weren't a skateboarder then. Like, if you don't get that, like, smile and that blood flowing and those butterflies, because...
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Skateboarding is deep. It makes you feel a way that most things won't ever make you feel that way.
100%.
I've never felt anything else that way besides, when I got married to Rachel, standing there on the altar in the rain, looking at my wife to be. I mean,
I'm doing that in August.
But yeah.
Yeah, we're planning for it. So I'm wondering about the butterfly effect, how it's all going to unveil, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's the dudes out there right now that, like, if you see a junk drawer and they have a part or they're in it, like, you're definitely tuning in? Who are you hyped on watching skate?
Let me think.
I'll give you one clue. His first name's Elijah. His last name's Burrell.
I love Elijah Burrow.
Yeah, me too.
I'm always a fan of Elijah. He's been my SODI pick, I don't know, the last 5 years in a row.
Same.
I thought Ducky in the new pizza video was cool.
Yep.
I like Ducky. I like that his pants. I like he was wearing like baggy trousers now. I thought that was fun. The whole video was good. But there's a lot of people I like out there.
Really?
And it's like music. I have thousands of things in front of me. You ask me, I can't tell you one. But if you give me a name, if it's somebody I like, I get excited. I want to talk about it. But I love so much of it, I can't even think about it. But I'm trying to think, I watch every video that comes out on, whether it's Thrasher, The Barracks, YouTube. If it's skateboarding, I watch it.
Yeah, skateboarding. Navarrete told me that a long time ago. He's like, yeah, there's different magazines, but there's only one skateboarding.
Yeah.
I always liked that one. It was like, God damn it, you're right. He's like, why would I not look at that magazine? It's skateboarding, right? And I was like, you're right.
Yes.
You know what I wish is that junk drawer had the vert button for the junk drawer, and then you could skim through and be like, I
watch old stuff a lot of times, but then the Jack O'Grady part coming out tomorrow or Friday, I'm stoked to see that because he's one of the handrail skateboarders who I actually like watching right now. It's weird because me being a guy that loved handrails and jumping on bars and doing axle grinds and all that.
Yeah.
I fucking hate handrails now. I'm so bored of them because it's turned into rollerblade looking shit. It's squatty. It's not fun. It's not fast.
I don't like slow jump up on it and then grind down.
I don't like
you have to go with the motion. If you go up and then down,
See, that's exactly. And here I am. I'm a Mr. Caveman, primitive thinking, skateboarding, kook, because to me, it's not a grind if you're not grinding. If you're waxing shit, you ain't grinding. Like, a grind makes noise.
Yeah.
You're going down. You use momentum when you skateboard. If you're not going with momentum and falling forward or flying forward, I don't like balance acts. That's just me personally. I think it's lame and goofy and looks... Have you ever seen that, like, when someone does a wheelie and they move their foot all over it like they're putting a cigarette out? Have you ever seen that look good? No. But when you see a manual like back 180 out in one motion, yes, that looks good.
You remember the Zero video, Jamie Thomas?
Yes.
There was a reason. He wanted to do it proper.
Yes, exactly. Like, so Jack O'Grady, he's one of these new chompers I like because he's dangerous on the board. Anytime skating looks dangerous and fun, that's the shit that turns me on. I'm like, holy fuck.
Hell yeah.
Wild.
Well, sick.
What about you?
I mean, I because just like you, I probably met Elijah around the same time you met him. He used to hit me up to come skate Double Rock at the weirdest times. And so I've watched him grow, and I just, big fan. I like anybody that's an ATV, Rainy Barras, like these dudes that can skate street. Raven, I'm waiting for you to just hang up the motorcycle for a week and just go full out blitz on us, because I think he could be the best in the biz, like if he already isn't. But those are the dudes I like. I like the dude that you could take to the park and he'll skate anything at the park and he can fuck it all up, but he's fine in the streets in the van, like going spot to spot too. Like, you know what I mean? These guys that can just do one dimensional, I appreciate them, but there's so much more, you know, like you've never dropped in on vert. You probably should drop in on vert. You know, like it's like the vert guy that can't ollie a curb. That doesn't make sense either. So let's get those guys to keep doing their own thing and then get the skaters to skate everything.
Yeah, I love the people that skateboarding all. I mean, Wade is my favorite for that reason. And when it's like, hey, Wade, do you like to skate ramps or street? He goes, I skate it all. I'm a skateboarder. And that's what Wade used to tell me. He's like, I'm a skateboarder.
Exactly. Well, that's who we grew up with. So it's like, you know, Drehobel, Phil, Wade, like they were the best. You're just like, what? Any demo, any obstacle, they're going to blow it out. So that's what you want. You don't want the guy crying in the van that there's no fucking, where's the Euro gap? I can only skate Euro gaps.
Yes. And I know I'm not the greatest at transition, but people would be surprised when I gotta drop in. I gotta have fun at a place.
Absolutely.
Once again, why would you ever want to, you know, stop yourself and tell yourself, oh, I don't skate this way?
Right.
What? You don't skate that way? Like, you only do switchback tails? Okay. You know, like, skateboarding's so fun. There's a lot to do with it. And now, like, when people go, oh, like your old stuff so much better. I'm like, well, yeah, I did that stuff before, but I'm enjoying, like, trying this stuff now because, once again, skateboarding is like so many doors are open on it. There's so many different, you know, ways to do it.
Yeah.
So like, why would you ever, you know, put yourself into one little spot and be like, this is all I do? No way. Have fun. Go fast. Just like that. I mean, but once again, my caveman thinking, go fast. If you're not going fast,
Mickey Ray's, I remember Mickey Ray said, if you're not pushing to the spot, you're not skating. Like, you need to push at it. You got to go fast. I was like, really? Yeah.
See, and once again, when you mentioned someone like Raven Touche, to me, the guys who you just mentioned, those type of skateboarders, I also like Fabiano Delfino a lot. Actually, like her brother than Pedro.
She's killing it.
Because she goes fast, and instead of like, it doesn't seem like she's so concerned with like, oh, I'm going to do a nose manual, nose wheelie, and ollie flip out. She's like, I'm going to go fast. I'm going to power slide. It's rock style. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. And her and Brianna, like when you see clips of them, like they just seem like they're having the blast and they get it. Like you can just see in certain people, like why they're doing it. And you're like, you're doing it for the right reasons.
And I like that, you know, maybe 10 years ago when I was like 15 years ago, whatever, when I was more in my prime, I might not have understood it as much because I was so kind of brainwashed into the way skateboarding was. Like, it's about progression, bro. If you're not pushing it harder and harder, you don't deserve to skateboard. And I am more stoked on female skateboarding, or just, I don't know why we call it female skateboarding, but genderless skateboarding or whatever, or just people ripping again, because I feel like I was deprived of it for so many years by being in the professional industry of it, of being like, this is the way it's got to be done. And that was like such a backwards way of thinking, where I'm like, these people they're having a good time. I want to join in on that. Yeah. How do I get in on there? And yet, because before, like when you did a wall ride, or if I was to be like, hey, I want to film a wall ride today, I'd have to like use like weird tactics. Like, I got this like strange kind of line I want to film today. It's got like a wall ride in it, and jump, and it's kind of going to be kind of goofy. I couldn't just be like, yo, I want to do this, because you got clowned on for like it's a certain way, and now like it's all cool. It's like, yes, this is nice. I just don't want it to look trendy though. That's the problem, because then you're like, am I now just looking like I'm trendy because I have like some baggy trousers on and doing a wall ride too? Fuck.
Right, you can never win, and then
No, somebody's gonna always talk shit. Whether if you're having fun, that's what's good. I guess if you're having a good time, someone's always gonna be jealous and upset with you.
Yeah,
like, oh damn, we've been talking for a while.
I know. Hey, I gotta say though, Fountain of Youth, since you asked me, Fountain of Youth Instagram award goes to Kevin Spanky Long. That dude is killing it on Instagram. Like, I'm like, what happened? Like, he's always been good, but like, holy shit, he really like came back with authority after he took a little hiatus, and now he I love the way he skates. Spanky, you know that.
I'm jealous of Spanky. He took my place on America. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was jealous because he got on before and I didn't get on. I was like, who the fuck is this Spanky kid, man? I'm just kidding.
Right.
I love Kevin Long. Yeah, seeing what he's doing right now, it's cool. And once again, because he's an individual, he's found his place and he's doing it the way he wants to, compared to me like, I have to frontside flip 20 stairs. And if he does that, if he wants to, we're going to love to see it. But if he wants to do a switch wall ride and a K grind and a tail slide kickflip and go fly out into outer space after, that's him. And that's why we love it. Once again, so that's why it's special.
150%. You heard it here. We've said it all. We've talked probably longer than you wanted to listen in one sitting. But the good news is you can always rewind and start where you left off. And TalkinSchmit.com has photos, video links, everything you need to know if you want more of Corey Duffel, including his new company, Adored Skateboarding. Is it adoredskateboarding.com? Is that the website?
You got it.
Fucking first try, and it's not even a Friday.
Just use the vert button, fast forward this whole thing just to adoredskateboarding.com.
Adoredskateboarding.com. Dude, thank you so much for taking the time out. Good reconnecting. Once the COVID's officially over, or I get vaccinated, or I don't know what, I'm coming out there. We're going to fucking go get some, I like that Thai spot you took me to.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm down for some Thai food too.
Yeah. And what are we going to spin on the spinner to take us out? What song are we going with?
Okay, so to end, we're going to go with a band called East River Pipe, and the song is called Helmet On by East River Pipe on Sarah Records. It's a good one.
Boom, boom, boom. That's cool. Right, kids. TalkinSchmit.com. And when you've bought all of my merchandise, go over to adoredskateboarding.com and buy all his. See you next week. We out. Peace.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talkin Schmit. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. When you subscribe, you'll get notifications every Tuesday of new episodes the minute they become available. Also, please leave reviews and a 5-star rating. It's the best way to help the show grow. All of the episodes will always remain free, but if you would like to help support the show, you can do so at TalkinSchmit.com, where you can pick up some merchandise like t-shirts, beanies, hats, and stickers. The website has an entire archive of all of the episodes, with extra photos and videos. Email us with any suggestions, comments, or ways that the show may have improved your life at talkinschmit@gmail.com. All interviews are conducted, edited, and produced by Schmitty. The intro music is Mary's Cross by the band Nature. Very special shout out goes to the executive director, Sharal Camisa.
Shout out.
Love it!
This is Talking Schmit, where the Rolodex is deep, but the conversation is deeper.